I want to praise Sandra Lindsay again for taking the first dose of that vaccine at 9:20 a.m. I know as Black people, we have a complicated history with vaccines. I want to also shout out Dr. Chris T. Purnell, who on this show was in the clinical trials for Moderna. This was the Pfizer version, which is very similar to the Moderna one, except it has to be colder. And she said, I feel hopeful today and relieved. She said, I feel like healing is coming. And I hope this marks the beginning of the end of a very painful time in our country. I want to instill public confidence that the vaccine is safe. We're in a pandemic. And so we all need to do our part and put an end to the pandemic. So I just want to thank her. There are people that are saying that they're going to implant a chip in the
please let me just, I'm so tired of these simpletons reading out excerpts from 1984. The chip is in your hand, dummy. It's the phone that you take everywhere you go, where they clock your spending habits. They know where your location is. Enough with the chip already. Y'all so simple. You been had a chip. And you won't put the phone down. And if somebody reaches for your phone, you start flinching because you don't want nobody to touch your chip. Enough already with that foolishness. I will say this, when I saw her, I was like, there it goes again. America has always had their mouth on a Black woman's titty from the beginning of time. They have always been the sacrificial lamb to lead the charge for the liberation of others. And then what? Then what? Breonna Taylor. So remember Sandra, remember Breonna, when you remember Sandra, that you disrespect Black women constantly in this country and treat them like lesser than, but they always continue to show up for everybody. And I, as a Puerto Rican woman, can say that comfortably because that is the truth. Always showing up.
Roses really smell like booty, boo, boo, boo. Yes. Oh my gosh. She just gave a sermon just now. And it is spot on. It is spot on. And I'm grateful that we're going to be talking about Ma Rainey later on today. But, you know, somebody was like, oh, there's a war between, blah, 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 Black women. What Ida's saying? Yeah. Facts. Henrietta Lacks. None of these things would happen without her cells. Yep. She didn't even wittingly do it, but my God, her everlasting self should tell you everything. All right, you wanted to say something else about that? That was profound about the the chip. Thank you for
you know that everybody has a microphone now. Every conspiracy theory is out there. We know conspiracy theory, what it is. It was a term that was used to demonize certain thoughts during the Kennedy thing. And certainly a lot of things that have been called conspiracy theories end up being true, like we see that with the Tuskegee experiment. But the problem is that we have so many people who have the microphone now because of social media, and they are continuously putting out foolish information out there. What exactly do they think that they need to inject in us to know where we are all the time? They don't have to. We telling people where we are all the time. We put geotags on our social media. Like, what is it? What chip is it that Bill Gates is trying to put in us to track us? They can track us anywhere. You can Google somebody's house and see it across the country. It is just, at some point, yes, this government is wicked. It has a history of violence. We know those things are true. But at the same time, we cannot be foolish. And we're like people who are having unprotected sex, taking drugs, taking all kinds of chemicals into their body, living some of the unhealthiest lives, talking about, I ain't taking that vaccine. I'm like, what are you
eat spam? Wait, you eat spam and bologna? Are you kidding me? What?
It's so
and hot dogs.
Common sense is just out and two things can be true at the same time. Yes, they wicked. We gotta watch, we gotta pay attention and be vigilant. But at the same time, we got to be logical because we be on some foolishness. And somebody read The Pale Horse 20 years ago and they still walking around talking about blood in my eye. Do you know how much has happened since then?
I read that too.
We all read it, but how much has happened since then? They could turn. They're probably watching you through your television, your Netflix account, and you talk about, I ain't gonna let them put no chip in me. Sit down.